Hey, what's up? This is Xehanort's Role in Kingdom Hearts 3. I hope you guys enjoyed my last video. I know I did promise that we'll do Isa/Zayats next, but let's go ahead with Xehanort's Role because some person helped me with this script and will be the history of Xehanort part. So this is kind of like a collaboration, but I will mention the person in the end of the video and give special thanks to them. So as you know, in these type of videos, characters role in Kingdom Hearts 3, I start off with a bit of history, and this is the part that the person helps me with. So let's get into the video.
Wait, Xehanort. There is a reason the precepts bar us from such knowledge. Why do you seek the Keyblade? Would you blanket all the worlds in darkness? Reduce them to nothing?
But darkness did cover the world once, in legend. We know so little about the Keyblade War. Only that it was just the beginning. Amidst that crisis, a precious light was found. It is a curious tale, and one worth exploring. They say ruin brings about creation. So what then would another Keyblade War bring? When the darkness falls, will we be found worthy of the precious light the legend speaks of? I must have these answers. The Keyblade needs to be forged, and with it the door to the Keyblade War unlocked.
Fool, you would risk an apocalypse out of sheer curiosity? I will never allow it, Xehanort. Not while I live!
But once again, you have it all wrong, Ericus. Darkness is a beginning, you see, not an end. At birth, every one of us emerges from darkness into a world of light, do we not?
Poetic excuses! If words won't dissuade you, only one thing will! That power! Has the darkness taken you, Xehanort?
Not your concern.
It began with a boy who tired of his daily life as an islander and yearned to escape into the outside world. Xehanort somehow found a way off his island and found himself a master and met his brother in training, Ericus. Xehanort inherited his current Keyblade, No Name, which is also the most ancient one of all the Keyblades. Ericus inherited the Land of Departure. Ericus believed that darkness should not exist in the world, while Xehanort believed in equilibrium. After he became a Keyblade Master, he wandered the world and learned of many things, such as the 3 families of the Keyblade and the legendary Keyblade. Xehanort has decided that he will create a new world on his own by recreating the Keyblade and opening the door to Kingdom Hearts, while at the same time reenacting the Keyblade War in order to state his curiosity and thirst of knowledge. Xehanort, now an old man with not too many years ahead of him, needed a new body. Keyblade Masters have the ability to transfer their hearts into other vessels. Xehanort had come across a boy named Ventus and planned on using that ability on him, but Ventus was too frail. So he instead used him as a guinea pig for his reconstruction of the Keyblade. The Keyblade required pure light and pure darkness clashing. Xehanort had wanted Ventus to embrace the darkness and then have him fight with the one of Ericus' students. But he was too weak and forced Xehanort to extract the darkness right out of him, resulting in the birth of Vanitas.
Really? You would rather die than use the power. Feckless neophyte. If I must, I will extract the darkness from within you myself.
This took a huge toll on Ventus, and he was beginning to lose his life. So as a form of solace, Xehanort decided to let Ventus fade away at his childhood home. Ventus somehow regained his heart, so Xehanort proceeded with his plans. He delivered Ventus to his former colleague Ericus, hoping that he will grow stronger in time, and will eventually be strong enough to compete with Vanitas. This was the same time Xehanort first laid his eyes on Terra, one of Ericus's students, whom he was able to sense a formidable darkness within. He had finally decided on his true vessel. 4 years later, and Xehanort executes his plan by disrupting the Mark of Mastery exam of Terra and Aqua, planting the seeds of doubt within Terra and using Vanitas to isolate Ventus from his master and leave his home. Xehanort informs Terra of Vanitas and the threat he poses on the world, and then continues to lure in Terra by staging a kidnapping with his partner, Braig. This forced Terra to unleash his darkness and tempted him to side with Xehanort. Xehanort escalates his plan and reminded Ventus of his past and planted seeds of mistrust in him towards Ericus. All of this resulted in the demise of his former brother pupil, whom he killed with his own hands, and now all of his pieces will gather at the Keyblade graveyard, where the Keyblade will spawn. Everything was going very smoothly. Terra would succumb to darkness, making him more than sustainable vessel for his heart, while Vanitas disposes of Aqua and merges with Ventus, and completing the Keyblade. Xehanort was on cloud 9. Everything was going his way. The Keyblade was forged. He now has a young, able body in his possession brimming with darkness. What could stop him? But of course, not everything went according to plan. Xehanort didn't expect Terra to continue to resist him even after taking possession of his body. While Ventus was resisting Vanitas, and Master Aqua shattered the Keyblade. The blast, as a result of the Keyblade being shattered, sent Xehanort to Radiant Garden, where he is confronted by Master Aqua, who battles him, as well as his internal struggle with Terra over supremacy of his body. Xehanort, feeling desperate, took his Keyblade and stabbed his chest in order to wrestle complete control over Terra's body and heart once and for all. The aftermath was Aqua sacrificing herself to save her friend, while she takes his place in the realm of darkness. Meanwhile, on the surface, Xehanort is found by Ansem the Wise and his apprentices. Xehanort has been taken in by Ansem the Wise as his apprentice, while memories of both Terra and Xehanort were recovering. Xehanort had taken great interest in the study of the heart, the doors that appears, and the heart of each world. Ansem the Wise restricted him on these experiments, but behind his back he continued them in secret with the other apprentices while recording his research detailed reports as he wrote under Ansem. Xehanort was able to manipulate the other apprentices, tempt them with their curiosity of the heart. They had gathered individuals in the basement and performed various experiments on the heart, against the orders of Ansem the Wise. Xehanort, now with his memories returned, banishes Ansem to another realm, and the 6 former apprentices have given up their heart in order to further their research without the restraints of emotions. After ridding himself of Ansem, as well as his own heart, Xehanort's nobody Xemnas unlocked the graveyard where they performed the experiments, built a room where he would store away Aqua's armor and Keyblade, a faint memory of a former friend to him. Xehanort is now a Heartless and have produced a nobody, but unlike other Heartless, he still appears human because this was a self-extraction, as well as Xehanort's extraordinary control over the darkness. While like this, he created a machine to produce artificial Heartless to study their behavior by giving them hearts, which normal Heartless are devoid of. Xehanort knew that a princess of heart resided in this world and was curious if her power resonates with the Keyblade. So to test this, he cast her out of the world, and this girl found herself on the shores of Destiny Islands. Theirno only lost his memory for a year at most before he and the others turned on Ansem the Wise and became a Heartless. After casting out Kyrie, creating the artificial Heartless known as Emblems, then one day he disappeared and left the control of Radiant Garden to the evil witch Maleficent, who reformed the world as Hollow Bastion. Even while divided as Heartless and Nobody, Xehanort's ambitions remained the same: balance of light and darkness in the world, and recreating the Keyblade. So to make sure his destiny stays the same, he casted off his body and traveled to the past to put his younger self on the appointed path, while Maleficent was tasked to locate the 7 princesses of heart while using his old castle as HQ. Before, Xehanort tried to use pure light and pure darkness to make the Keyblade. Now he is using a different method. Having 7 lights and 13 darknesses, his Heartless used the 7 princesses, while his Nobody gathered 13 vessels to fill up with his heart of darkness. His Heartless was lacking a form due to casting off his body for time travel, so he took possession of Riku and received a human appearance. His Nobody was testing Sora, but in actuality, he was there to extract a piece of memory from him, which she would later give to Vexen to create a replica to have under their control, which later became known and forgotten as Number I, or aka Xehanort. Xehanort's Heartless also gathered the 7 princesses in order to use their power to make the Keyblade of Heart, and opened the door to darkness using the final keyhole at Hollow Bastion. Opening the door meant that the Heartless and pure darkness would flood out the world, thus tearing down the tyranny of light. Each version of Xehanort endeavored to create their own artificial Kingdom Hearts. Xehanort's Heartless used the Heartless to plunge world by world into darkness and extract their hearts to make Kingdom Hearts, while his Nobody used the Keyblade bearers to fight the Heartless and gather their hearts they released to make Kingdom Hearts. This was meant to fill each member of the organization with pure darkness, or piece of Xehanort, but misled them into thinking they would be getting hearts of their own. Sora and his friends have defeated both of his incarnations, but this only delayed Xehanort. This defeat only assured the resurrection of the original, who was now exists in the present, over 11 years since he first discarded his frail old body. Xehanort went back in time to not only assure that the younger selves would be on the path that brought him here, but to give him time-traveling powers of his own in order to gather 12 other vessels from different times. All of this was planned. Xehanort's Heartless being at Destiny Islands was the key that allowed them to all exist in the present. Despite all the delays, Xehanort plan remained the same throughout, and now he is at the final stages. His story would conclude in Kingdom Hearts 3. So now that we're all caught up on Xehanort's history, we know his motivations pertaining to the actions he took to achieve his goal. However, one thing we don't know is whether Xehanort's yearning for equilibrium results in a better universe or aids him in other selfish goals. I personally feel Xehanort is not doing this out of a pure heart and does have ulterior motives, which can propagate from light and darknesses being balanced. Xehanort in Kingdom Hearts 3 would finally have a stage to enlighten everyone, fans and other characters in the game, what he truly desires. His role is to educate the newer younger generation of Keyblade wielders on the various possibilities available to them they never knew. He is currently the most knowledgeable on the intricacies involving the Keyblade, history of the world, and what kind of things lay dormant beyond Kingdom Hearts. To achieve this, Xehanort knows sacrifices are needed and thinks that's fine. Xehanort's curiosity made him leave a small island to discover a larger world. His curiosity is so intense, allowed him to travel through time. In other words, time couldn't dissolve his desires to learn more. So Kingdom Hearts 3 Xehanort will find the answer he seeks. This man has gotten defeated time and time again. Even that hasn't stopped him. This may not be an accepted opinion, but someone's luck is bound to run out, facing off against a man who has perfectly calculated and revised his plans using many versions of himself throughout time. The final battle will be held on Xehanort's stage, following his rules and void of error. His role in Kingdom Hearts 3 is to ingrain his beliefs into allies and foes for an outcome no one can possibly predict. So we will just have to wait and see when the final battle is held. Thanks for watching, everyone. This video is credit of Theirno, a person I met in Kingdom Hearts group on Facebook. The history of Xehanort part of this video, which was long and extensive, I thank him for that, was also written by him, and I read it one to one off of it. So I want all credit of that part to go to him. Also, he allowed me to use it in this video. So a special thanks to him, which is kind of like a collaboration, I guess you can say. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments which character I should do next. Zayat/Isa is the one that should appear next, but if I receive requests for other characters, I will do them. Characters already done are Mickey, Riku, Axel/Lee, so be sure to watch those videos also, and don't recommend these characters because I already did them. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe.